I don't know a single filmmaker who on day one says, this is the kind of filmmaker I will be. I like telling stories about complicated people, and I'm not very interested in heroes and villains.
I'm Tully. I'm here to take care of you.
I want my movies to occupy a version of life that you recognize on screen. I want you to feel as though you were watching a reflection of your own life. The movies are about human experiences. That Juno is not about teenage pregnancy as much as Juno is about the moment we decide to grow up. And when people grow up too slow and people grow up too fast.
Because you're like the coolest person I've ever met, and you don't even have to try, you know?
I try really hard, actually.
I am most deeply interested in just people and their flaws, although social context makes films more relevant and it gives an access point for people to connect. I really don't think any of my movies have messages, because I'm not even sure what my message would be. What I'm interested in is our choices in general, our deep need to connect, our deep need to try things, the way that we change as people as we get older.
How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams?
27 grand a year.
And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy?
This is what happens. I have an instinct to tell a story. I don't know why, but I know that I need to say something. And as I'm looking for a vehicle to say something, I read a book, or I read a script, or I meet someone, or I read a news article, or I listen to a podcast. And all of a sudden, I find in that podcast or in that newspaper article or that book a vehicle to tell the feeling that I'm having or to answer the question that I'm mulling over. In Tully, as I've gotten older and I'm a parent and I'm entering my 40s, my relationship with my younger self has changed.
Your 20s are great, but then your 30s come around the corner like a garbage truck at 5 a.m.
My younger self used to feel like the same person. My younger self now feels like a different person. And that became a vehicle to explore this idea of the shame we feel for becoming the people we do, the judgment with which we presume our younger versions of ourselves see ourselves. How lovely it would be to be saved by our younger self and to get the opportunity to forgive each other. But it is only after making the film that you realize why you made a movie to begin with. But I don't know a single filmmaker who on day one says, this is the kind of filmmaker I will be. These are the questions I will seek to answer, and together they will make this oeuvre of concepts. Certainly with Thank You for Smoking, I was thinking about the necessity of freedom and choice. My frustration of living in a nanny state where people are often telling other people how to live and what to feel.
If your parents told you that chocolate was dangerous, would you just take their word for it? No! Exactly! So perhaps instead of acting like sheep when it comes to cigarettes, you should find out for yourself.
Okay then.
Through Up in the Air, I was really pressing the question for myself of whether or not life is simply lived alone and that we are lying to ourselves.
Sell me marriage.
Okay, how about love?
Okay. Each one is asked a different question. It's important that every audience member receives something different from the movie. At the end of the day, the movie screen is a mirror. You simply see yourself in it. I know I've done a good job when two people walk out of the movie and they each saw different movies and they can get into an argument about what the movie meant. It serves to actualize different feelings and emotions in different people. I prefer movies that ask questions instead of giving answers.
You're a part-time lover and a full-time friend. The monkey on your back is the latest trend. Don't see what